This morning, George Zimmerman's wife is out of jail and facing tough questions about the couple's finances. Shelley Zimmerman is charged with perjury for saying the couple did not have the money to pay for her husband's defense in the killing of Trayvon Martin. Prosecutors say Shelley Zimmerman was actually sitting on more than $120,000 raised online when she testified under oath by phone at Zimmerman's bond hearing.
And you mentioned also in terms of the ability of your husband to make a bond amount that you all had no money, is that correct?
To my knowledge, that's correct.
Okay. Were you aware of the website that Mr. Zimmerman or somebody on his behalf created?
I'm aware of that website.
And how much money is in that website right now? Or how much money as a result of that website was...
Currently, I do not know.
But prosecutors say that's a lie, hence the perjury charge. So let's bring in B.J. Bernstein. She's a criminal defense attorney. She's handled a number of high-profile cases. Welcome.
Something else. For someone who didn't want to be on TV, had special protection at that hearing not to appear, and there we are. We're mugshot. We know who she is.
Big old mugshot. She had no trouble posting the $1,000 bond to get out of jail.
Right.
Did that in a second. I mean, how do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and then allegedly blatantly lie?
It happens all the time, and what obviously one of the key pieces of evidence that the state's going to look at is the phone calls. And for everybody who doesn't know, when someone calls you collect from jail, any jail, those calls are recorded and they keep them. And particularly with high-profile defendants like Zimmerman, you know that the state was listening to every word he said when he was locked up.
Yeah, so these jailhouse conversations, prosecutors say that George Zimmerman actually used code words to communicate, you know, the transfer of money from one account to another. He even allegedly told his wife to pay off credit card bills like the American Express bill and the Sam's Club card.
Yeah, I mean, and these are the things that, you know, it creates interesting issues for Zimmerman and Zimmerman's attorney, who has publicly announced he has a legal conflict and cannot represent the wife because now he's trying to still get bond and he's trying to save credibility for Zimmerman. Remember that this judge who revoked this bond is the one who's going to decide whether the stand your ground law is applicable and whether this case goes to trial. And so Zimmerman's credibility is at issue. And then someone who may have been a helpful witness is potentially damaged because his wife's been arrested, not just lying, but the law of perjury requires it to be something material, something important. In other words, not just any little old fact. And that's something that hurts Zimmerman and potentially hurt his wife. I
was reading a bunch of articles online. There are already people coming out and saying that this is a setup, that prosecutors set this whole thing up, and it isn't as bad as it looks. You're an attorney. Is it as bad as it looks?
It's not good as it looks right now. There would have to be a lot of explaining. It's interesting when you just did that replay of what she said. To my knowledge, she used very measured words. That may be the only chance of some sort of defense that you have here, and also looking at where the money went. I've seen reports where money is moved from account, out of the account, into her account, then moved back into the other fund. And so those account movements and her cautionary words are going to be the only things that potentially protect her.
So if she's convicted of perjury, what could happen?
She could go to jail. But most likely, this is the kind of thing of it would affect her credibility at any trial and makes her not a witness for Zimmerman that he can rely on, and he better look elsewhere for support and help in terms of his case. And for the prosecution, it's more fuel to the fire that they are right, and to the lawyer Crump and the Trayvon Martin family, it does echo what they've been saying, which is there's lies going on and that their son was murdered.
B.J. Bernstein, thanks so much for joining us this morning.